So this is interesting that the Easter beads that I put in there, they were glass scatter beads from Hobby Lobby. They really went transparent inside this, which is very interesting, but it's kind of a cool effect. And I wanted to make a note so that you just understand that the thin viscosity resin takes much longer to harden. So this has been in the coasters for molds for probably about 6 hours, and if this were medium viscosity, these would be so much harder and not quite as flexible. So I just wanted to kind of make a note of that. Thin viscosity takes longer to set up. I always use my leftover resin just for different little phone grip covers or magnets. These could become magnets. They also can always be personalized with initials or something like that. So this is what all this is. It's just leftover resin that I colored from here. But it's still very flexible. Like I said, the thin takes longer. And I love this little earring mold I got. This was a dandelion mold, and I will I've actually got it in the bowl crooked, but anyway, after it is cured and hard, I will etch it with color. You can do it prior to putting the resin in, so you can go over all the raised areas with a paintbrush and color, or I used a paint pen, but it took several layers because the oil-based paint wants to bead up on the silicone a little bit, so you had to kind of wait for it to dry and do a few layers, but it kind of went quickly. You can use mica powders, but I don't have the patience for that. So to me it's just easier to let it totally cure and then come back and add acrylic into the etchings and then wipe it off and clean it off with a baby wipe and alcohol or whatever. This is a new little mold I got. It's wings. I don't know if I can quite get it out since it's still flexible. We'll see here. Well, now that I've started up, I've got to do it. Stretching it though. They're little feather wings. They're really cute. See, it's so bendable right now still. That's the problem. Oh. Really, really cute. You can actually kind of shape it still. It just says angel wings. I'll have to remember. I think I got it on Counterculture's website, where I get the fine grip mold. And this came from an Etsy shop with another order, I think. I saw it somewhere. I'll have to figure out where I got that from. And I noticed that the last time I used my dandelion mold, I used some alcohol ink and the resin kind of at the end, and it must have when I put it in, it must have stained my mold a little bit. I can see a little spot where, cause it was like magenta alcohol ink, and I can see a little stain. I tried to get it out with alcohol and nothing came up, so it's in this silicone and I can't do anything with it. But anyway, this is a beautiful effect, and I used a little bit of Counterculture Mica Pearl Shimmer, which has got a kind of a blue violet iridescent to it. This glitter makes it sea glass. I didn't use that much, but it makes a whole lot of difference. And it was a little pack of holographic glitter that someone sent me, just a little bag of, with an Etsy shipment or something. I don't even know what it's called, or it was just a holographic glitter. So it's inside this resin. But anyway, it just came out really lovely. I love the simplicity of this, and can't wait to see it outside in the light, sparkling, but it's already beautiful in the lights here in the studio. But they would make lovely little bowls for some Easter candy. So this is a Corelle bowl, and I think I'm going to go get 2 more and put them in it and form it. See, I don't think the medium viscosity would do that, break off on the tips there like that just did. Just an observation, thin set resin does not cure as quickly and as hard as the medium viscosity. So if you want it to be nice and firm and hard pretty immediately, you know, within 4 to 6 hours, and the next day to not be flexible at all, you definitely want to use the medium viscosity, not the thin viscosity. Because these all have sat for 24 hours and they're still a little bit on the flexible side. So I'm just going in to the etchings and painting in some silver. And this is just silver acrylic this time, so you don't see it a whole lot. You're not going to see a lot of it like you would a gold, but I think the silver is probably more compatible with these colors. Okay, so I've finished unmolding and I added some silver to edges and things. So here's the cute little Easter bowls, and I'll show a picture of it outside, and maybe with some candy in it or something fun like that. Got 2 of those using those glass beads embedded in the resin. Then this is the dandelion mold, and I used silver instead of gold. I just thought silver would be pretty with it. So I love the resin, the sparkle and all that. The note about silver or gold is I've learned to come that you work so much harder when you put the paint into the etching afterwards, as far as cleaning the resin off and getting all that acrylic off the surface of the resin. It goes into the etching, but the silver is not pretty in acrylics. It just looks like gray. It doesn't look like silver. The gold does a little bit better, the 24 karat gold, but what I highly recommend is just using one of your, I use Molotow Chrome, liquid chrome, and I use the Krylon 18 karat gold, and just using your paint pens and painting all these. It's actually easier than using a paintbrush, but because it's oil based, it will sometimes bead up because this is silicone and a lot of things don't stick to silicone, right? So you have to kind of go over everything, let it dry good, go back and dab on some places where there's places that the paint didn't stick. So you just got to kind of build it up. But then when you put your resin on and you unmold it, it's embedded into the resin and you don't have to worry about it. This way is actually more time consuming because you're trying to clean up that acrylic off the surface of the resin, and so it just makes it a little bit more time consuming. And like I said, the silver acrylic just never, there's no silver acrylic that will do it justice, and this liquid chrome is just the best, I think, as far as the shininess of it. So this is definitely my go-to silver for sure. And if you, it is oil based, if you accidentally touch it, it'll make it kind of dull looking. You just go back after it's dry and you just touch up any dull areas or areas that might need a second coat, and it's just a beautiful shiny chrome finish. It looks so good. So that's my 2 cents worth on the daffodil coasters. Here's my 2 little sparkly earrings. I thought they turned out really pretty. And the leftover resin, I just colored it a different, this was, you know, the original with just a little bit of kind of a white in it, and the holographic stuff. This was gray and silver glitter, and I think the glitter obviously had some other colors in it, like greens and blues, because it's got that little bit of an undertone, which is really pretty. I made these just little feather earrings, but because I use thin resin, it takes well over 24 hours for it to cure and really harden up, and you get much quicker curing with the medium viscosity. That's why I love it for the bloom coasters and everything. And then here's one that's just turquoise blue sparkles with silver edges. So hope you learned something, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.